Lately, have you been sensing yourself stuck in a relationship that feels out of sync, the one where things just don't click for some reason? You feel it in your gut, the palpable friction, the overwhelming disconnect. It's all so obvious to you, yet you are unable to put your finger on why it feels like the universe is deliberately holding you back from being with that person. At times, it feels downright unfair that you are being held back from experiencing the deep love and harmony you long for with that person and from that particular relationship. And then, a quiet yet persistent whisper from within makes you question, is this really the relationship I had been waiting for? One date after the other, one unfulfilling conversation after another, you slowly come to the painful conclusion that perhaps you are not made for love or experience the sheer satisfaction a healthy relationship brings about. Well, let me tell you that if you have been feeling that way, then there is sure a purpose behind it. Your feelings are a gauge of your energy and vibration, and they do not lie. The disconnect and discomfort you are feeling are not random at all. You are one intelligent and conscious being. Sometimes, however, the noise of the mind, the constant chatter, the worries, the fears can cloud your perception and prevent you from tuning in to the subtle messages and signs that your higher self is trying to convey to you. You are connected to the energy of the infinite consciousness, and by virtue of this sacred connection, you always get intuitive nudges when something is just not right. In this case, it is a relationship. The universe or the divine is your best friend, and it is eager to give you everything that you need and want. But sometimes we humans disregard some major signs and synchronicities. We push, we force, and we stay in relationships that no longer serve us simply because we fear being alone or not finding someone better. But if you feel something is off in your current relationship, this is high time you learn more about it so that you can make an informed decision about where you want to get to in life. We all want to be loved, cherished, and accepted for who we are. But if your relationship is making you feel none of those, you know that it's time to make some changes. So, let's explore 10 things that might happen to you if the universe doesn't want you to be with someone. Listen to each point carefully, because it might help you reach a conclusion you have been avoiding for so long. Are you in a relationship where you feel seen, heard, and valued for who you are? Or are you stuck in a dynamic where you fear to express yourself freely? If you resonate with the latter, that's a sure sign that the universe doesn't want you to be with them at all. And you must understand that being lonely doesn't imply that your partner or love interest abandons you physically. It rather points to a deep disconnect between you two that you try to fill with meaningless talks or forced intimacy. You might be sitting next to them, being very close physically, yet it would feel like there is an invisible barrier between you two. A wall that separates you two and makes you feel isolated despite being in a relationship. Whenever you two are together, you have a good time together. You talk, you have some laughs, yet a coldness hangs in the air. At the end of every meeting, you feel like you couldn't share so many things that you would want to with your person. There can be so many reasons for that. First, they are genuinely uninterested in you and thus seem distracted. They might be checking their phone constantly or lost in their own thoughts. Second, they are present and responsive, but deep in your heart, you sense a fear. You cannot share your secrets or be yourself in front of them because you fear being judged. Both these reasons still point to the same fact, the writing on the wall: you two are not meant to be together. This kind of loneliness is devastating for your mental health and confidence. The more time you spend bearing that loneliness, the more you will begin to doubt your self-worth. It's better to be single than be with a partner with whom you sense a disconnect and cannot pour your heart out every time without any second thoughts. And maybe it doesn't seem that way right now, but yes, somewhere on this planet, such a partner exists for you. You deserve someone who sees you, hears you, someone with whom you can be yourself. So, Don't settle for any less. Ever. While we all delve into our past sometimes, if you find yourself constantly clinging to your old life, then it can only mean one thing: that you are not mentally ready for your current relationship. It also subtly implies that the universe doesn't want you to be in this relationship either, and that's why memories, what-ifs, and the ideas of what could have been are haunting you. You might be missing your ex, or even an older version of your current partner. Doesn't matter. The sign that you're going to the past to find solace means that your mind is conflicted, and it's trying to pacify you with images and feelings of your old life. If you are in a happy and healthy relationship, you should be present and relishing the moments. But if you keep reminiscing about how your life could have been different, it signifies that you are forcing your current romantic arrangement. Your mind and heart are not ready. If you had a traumatic experience and you keep going back, it means you haven't healed completely. Scientific research shows that our amygdala, the part of our brain that processes memory and emotions, often makes us fixate on past experiences that stir up intense feelings. You become even more susceptible to this when you cannot find peace in your present and therefore run to the past for bursts of intense emotions. This is why it's hard for us to move on from the past. You are not alone. It happens to the very best among us. But the universe, like our divine parent, often steps in when we are holding on to the past too tightly. It nudges us again and again to let go of what is not serving us, because it knows that only if we let go of the past can we hope to create a beautiful life in the present and the future. So, it may seem impossible right now, but you have to detach from the past, and your current relationship is not helping you do that. The right person would open your soul to a new kind of love and new experiences, and then would have no time to revisit the predictable past. We live in a 3D time-space continuum, and time is of integral value to us on the planet. Timing plays a huge role in all aspects of our life, and it couldn't be truer or more accurate for relationships. If the universe doesn't really want you to be with someone, the timing will always feel off to you. Your timelines won't align. You two might be dating and perhaps in love as well, but emotionally and mentally, it would often feel like you are in two completely different places. When you meet such a partner, the initial connection and magnetic pull are for sure going to be undeniable. But as soon as the initial high wears off, you may find yourself in constant distress just because you two want very different things in life. Perhaps you have finally come to a point in your life when you want to settle down and relish the joy of building a family. But your partner doesn't look so eager. Maybe they want to focus on their career for a while, or maybe they are more interested in traveling the world and living an adventurous lifestyle. In a nutshell, your timings don't sync. So all the time you spend together feels like you are trying to force something that is not meant to stick anyway. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It feels emotionally painful and is akin to two trains running parallel to each other. They feel so close, yet so far. And in such situations, things never line up the way you want, no matter how hard you try. Many couples who find themselves in such an arrangement stubbornly try to continue the relationship without realizing that the longer they stay, the harder life will become with each passing day. If you were meant to be with that person, things would have flown naturally. The universe and the infinite consciousness that permeates through all beings know what each and every individual wants and yearns for on a deeper level. Thus, this intelligence very well has the power to pair you with someone who exactly meets every criterion on your checklist. But because you get into relationships that are not based on an understanding and appreciation of your genuine needs, you waste your time with many romantic partners along the way. The universe knows when you need to meet someone, when you need some time alone for healing, and when to open your heart for true love to come in. So, don't be desperate. Don't worry about whether you will be left alone after your current relationship. Let the universe take charge for once and trust in its infinite wisdom. Are you in a relationship in which you have begun to lose sight of who you are? Think about it. Give it a few minutes. You may have started giving up on hobbies and passions that once ignited your soul. Perhaps you had some strong interests once, but you have put them all on a back burner because those things don't fit in your significant other's life. Females are most vulnerable to becoming victims of this tendency because they want to stay out of arguments and maintain peace in the relationship. The price they pay is often in the form of giving away parts of themselves that once formed their identity, and it begins very slowly, little shifts and changes. But over time, even these minor diversions in your habits or interests snowball, and suddenly one day you feel like you are not yourself anymore. This is the most soul-crushing part of being in such a relationship, that you don't even realize how much you have changed until you step back from the routine and take a moment to pause. The truth is that when you are with the right person, you don't have to lose your identity. You don't have to compromise on things that make you happy to accommodate their wishes, because if they truly love you, they wouldn't want you to roam around in an existential crisis. Studies have proven that self-authenticity in a relationship leads to higher levels of personal well-being. On the flip side, people who lose themselves in hopes of meeting their partner's expectations experience increased feelings of anxiety, dissatisfaction, and other psychological problems. So ask yourself, am I being myself in my relationship, or am I slowly losing myself? Your intuition will guide you to the answer and to what needs to be done if you are in such a relationship. Nothing screams danger like an on-again, off-again relationship. It's a situation most of us would find ourselves in at least once in our life. While it's totally fine to experience it once, if you are an adult looking for a long-term commitment, this one aspect of your relationship could signal something to you. It signifies that you are not in the relationship you want, and the universe is trying to grab your attention with frequent breakups and patch-ups. Being in such a relationship means that you are caught up in a cycle of doom forever. They keep hurting you and breaking up, and then they keep coming back, only to repeat the same behaviors. Maybe they promise you that they will be a better version of themselves this time, that they will be more attentive, communicative, and caring. Yet nothing changes. They do not walk their talk. Their actions do not back up all the flattering promises they made. Hence, the vicious cycle repeats itself over and over again, leaving you exhausted. And you know what is the most surprising part? Every time you get your hopes up and high, only to find them crashing down weeks or months later after the latest patch-up. The mere fact that this cycle is continuing for so long in your life is a testament to the truth that the universe is urging you and giving you the space to break free from this relationship. The constant heartbreak you feel is the universe's way of teaching you a lesson. Unless you do not learn from your mistakes, you cannot grow as an individual, nor hope to ever attract a fulfilling relationship. So many people spend their entire lives in toxic marriages or relationships just because they are not paying attention to what the universe is trying to tell them. They do not reflect, nor are such people sure of their inherent worth. But there is still a silver lining. Once you realize that nothing's changing, you can choose to step away from such a relationship and make space for something better. It's the time you listen to the universe and your higher self. You deserve the absolute best, and that can be someone who gives you the mental stability and security you need. When you are in a relationship you are not meant to be in, you will sense that you are forcing things when, in fact, nothing is connecting on its own. On the other hand, if you were with the right person, it would have felt effortless. Not only in the beginning, but even months and years down the lane. It's almost like two puzzle pieces that just fit together. The conversations flow naturally for long hours, even when you have nothing new to discover about each other. In such a relationship, you never have to force anything or work hard to make it work, because the universe is orchestrating everything on your behalf. But the universe doesn't want you to be with someone. It's a completely different story. You will often find that your connection and conversations lack the spark that once attracted you to that person. But now, no matter how hard you try or put in the effort, something always feels off. And you might even convince yourself that they are the one, but you can only fool yourself for so long. Eventually, reality will set in. You will get a gut feeling, a knot in your stomach, telling you that something's missing. Studies in social psychology tell us that true and strong connections are built on emotional resonance. When you are with the right person, this happens automatically. But if you are feeling a forced connection, it means you are holding back parts of yourself, and there is a lack of genuine vulnerability in your relationship. The universe doesn't want you to settle for a love that feels like work at all. If you are doing that, you are doing yourself a great disservice. You need a love that feels like coming home, a connection that calms your storms and makes you feel truly at ease. Until you find that for yourself, work on yourself and prepare yourself for such a divine connection. An energy vampire is a person who sucks your energy and leaves you feeling drained after every interaction. Your energy is your biggest asset because you are a magnet for things that resonate with you on a frequency level. Your energy sets up your vibration that dictates what kind of things, people and experiences are going to manifest in your life. So, if your current partner is sucking your energy, imagine the damage they are doing to you, not only in the moment, but also in the long run. They are forever altering your dominant vibration, making you prone to all the things that do not align with the future you want for yourself. In such a relationship, you will often feel mentally, emotionally, and physically drained. Every encounter with them may leave you more exhausted and puzzled than before. It can be their constant need for attention or their inability to understand and respect your perspective. You may feel like you are giving too much and getting nothing in return. The universe is, therefore, telling you to get rid of that energy vampire and give up the hopes of fixing them. You cannot fix anyone unless they want to willingly make a shift. They are a bottomless container, so no matter how much you sacrifice or pour yourself into such an individual, it will never be enough for them. If you are giving your all, and it still doesn't make up for their lack, then why are you giving away anything at all? Instead, it's time for you to ask yourself if this relationship is truly for your highest good. Is it serving you? If you constantly keep wondering about your importance and place in their life or worry about when they are going to leave, then you are living in a state of anxiety. You would also find yourself overthinking every interaction, replaying conversations in your head, or obsessing over their reactions to your genuine concerns. If you feel this way, then this is not a relationship you should be in, and this anxiety and survival mode is a major indication that the universe is whispering something to you. You might love your partner with all your heart, but if it's a relationship where you find yourself constantly on edge, it's not worth it. Love alone is not enough. It has to be accompanied by mutual respect and a level of trust. But your anxiety is narrating a different story here. Anxiety in relationships often stems from insecurity, fear of abandonment, or a lack of trust, and it can create a cycle of overthinking and emotional exhaustion. You analyze every word they say, wondering if something they said means that they are losing interest or if they are deliberately pulling away. If you are doing so, then you are letting the fear of abandonment get the best of you. We all have it. We all carry that fear, but you must not project it on your partner, expecting them to heal you. That's your job. You must heal yourself before you can enjoy a satisfying relationship. So next time when you feel anxious, ask yourself a few questions. Am I feeling unsure about my partner's commitment or feelings towards me? Am I reading between the lines too much, or are they genuinely disinterested? In any case, the solution is only one. You need to work on yourself. You need to get rid of all the fears and stop obsessing if they will leave you. Also, if they were the right person, you wouldn't be in such a state to begin with. With the right partner, your anxiety will fade away on its own because they will not be afraid to let you in on their thoughts and feelings. At your very core, you are a being of light and energy. Quantum physics tells us that everything in the universe is made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies. Your body, your thoughts, and even your emotions are all forms of energy interacting with the world around you. This invisible yet integral part of you, your essence, is constantly communicating with the universe. Therefore, this invisible yet integral part of you knows many things before you know them consciously. When the universe doesn't want you to be with someone, it gives you this feeling of being pulled away from your current relationship and towards something that feels more liberating to your soul. This strange yet highly meaningful pull can manifest in several ways. You may find a new interest pertaining to your career that would consume your focus, or an unexpected passion hops up, or you may even experience a magnetic connection with someone else. This shift in your attention and state of consciousness implies that the universe is now guiding you towards your true destiny. And oftentimes, that may mean leaving behind everything that once felt so familiar, including your current relationship. Neuroscientifically speaking, our minds are wired to seek novelty and growth. And sometimes, when the present scenarios are not serving you, this urge for novelty grows sharper, and you feel it in your heart and mind. Interestingly, though, this pull is not always comfortable. It can feel unsettling to let go of the unknown and dive into the unknown. Leaving behind familiar routines, identity, or relationships, it's all easier said than done, but your growth and evolution often require discomfort. Just like the process of transformation is not easy for a caterpillar in a cocoon, but is essential for it to realize its potential as a butterfly. Similarly, this sudden change in your life is necessary for you to shed your old skin and step into a new version of yourself. To assess if this pull or attraction is genuine, pay attention to how it makes you feel. If it seems a little risky but fills your heart with the joy of possibility, then it is an authentic attraction. It means that the universe is guiding you towards your destination, which for sure is not where you are now. When you are in a relationship that no longer contributes to your growth or happiness, you naturally gravitate towards solitude. Solitude is magical. It is healing. And quiet time is the perfect window of opportunity for the universe to speak to you and guide you through life. Solitude can often act as a mirror, reflecting to you the truths and details that you might have been avoiding for so long. Especially when we are in a romantic relationship, we forget to ever connect with our higher self or listen to what this innate wisdom has to say to us. This tendency leads us to anxiety and mental stress, and therefore all the things and people that once made us happy begin to irritate us. That is exactly when you begin to seek moments of solitude, without the noise of the outside world or the fleeting distractions of daily life. You get this incredible power to know yourself and tune into your inner voice. So, if you are unsure about what decision to make regarding your relationship, go into solitude. Start by carving out small pockets of alone time every day. Sit, meditate, or journal. Release all the burden and surrender all the mental chaos to the universe. Once you begin doing it, you will start getting all your answers intuitively. The universe has a way of guiding us that's both subtle and at times undeniably clear. It's not always easy to recognize, but one thing is certain. The universe always has our best interests in mind. If you've been feeling something's off in your relationship, whether it's doubt, anxiety, or emotional drain, take a step back and reflect on what it means. If you are not in a deeply satisfying relationship, then step out of it and refuse to settle for anything less than a magical and profound connection.